I make more fun of you, but I own and eat discount SpaghettiOs and the canned spaghetti because it's delicious.
SpaghettiOs are good though. I like that shit cold.
I know you will. It's disgusting. Anyway, we're back.
Apparently not as disgusting as eating all the skin off the hot dog.
Oh. All right.
I did that when I was a kid. I haven't done that as an adult. Let me put that out there.
At least not that he can remember, because doing that will immediately ruin your memories.
That is a good point. I did drink alcohol out of a what was that? A bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
dog bowl? Yeah. No, wait. No, it wasn't the dog bowl.
Yeah, it was.
It was the dog bowl.
It wasn't
that you? I thought it was Ryan that had to drink out of the dog bowl.
It wasn't like a used dog bowl.
No, it was. That was the dog bowl that Chris's dog.
Yeah.
That was Chris's dog's. Yeah.
It 100% was. I remember that.
I don't mean it had been cleaned. It's not like the dog just left its food in there and then I started drinking out of it.
Well, yeah, you did have somebody rinse it out.
You got flushed. Don't you fucking lie to me. Hey, look, Clarence was coming to the house, and I needed to make sure that was the first thing that he saw.
All right, so enough about Ryan sharing out of character things.
Oh, I'm totally gonna share pretty much anything in character. I ain't got no shame.
All right, so who wants to share first?
You get brownie points. Whoever goes first.
Can I attempt not to share anything without anyone noticing that I didn't share anything?
Ain't gonna happen.
I'm gonna need a fortitude save for you to do that.
Okay.
Okay. You can get through the night without sharing anything.
No, I can't.
But this will have negative circumstances. Or this will have consequences. And I don't even have to push them on you. You'll see the indirect consequences.
I'll chime up and share something since.
Well, bear in mind this is something that comes up casually. So the idea is you're all drinking, you're all having fun.
Yeah, I will, and then I think in Ra's headspace right now, her goddess is super on her mind, so she'd probably easily be like, I've literally spent my entire life worshiping and believing in Sashat and being steadfast. I worked at a temple of hers when I was a kid. She introduced me, that introduced me to just my love of the gods and goddesses. And I think I found out for sure today that she is stepped down, for good, on the material plane. And why I think that's great for her purposes, I don't know where that leaves me as a follower.
Well, shit.
Well, Arvos, that's not possible.
Didn't think we'd start that heavy.
Well, that's literally the only thing she's thinking of. So as we get drunk and start talking, she's gonna get a little depressed mode and be like, I don't know what the fuck to do. I don't know what this means. On one hand, I'm really happy for Sashat because I feel like she's doing what she feels is best for people, but it's made her not a goddess anymore.
Are you sure Thoth isn't playing a trick on you? I'm pretty sure what you're saying is impossible.
Yes, Arvos, the ever-religious
pretty
mind.
Fucking sure.
No need to get hostile. I'm just saying, from my experience with the...
Oh yeah, what experience?
It might be your dwarven accent that's making me think you're being a little hostile.
Traces of ghoul round bleed through.
Dwarves disgust me. Don't ever compare me to a dwarf. My experiences with the tomes of knowledge of Arrakis and in my family studies. There are many religious texts.
Have you ever sat down and spoken with a god and talked to them and listened to them and let their guidance fill you?
Have you ever casted a fireball?
No.
Have you been?
I don't need to.
Spellcaster response.
Do you know what seeing a fireball cast looks like and feels like?
Okay,
Yep.
Show
this
you
has,
on him.
this has nothing to do with religion,
Point
though.
proven. You can
No,
experience and know
no.
things without actually having done them. You
But
know what
I
a fireball
don't-
is, and you never cast
I
them.
don't know what it feels like to cast a fireball because I've never experienced it.
I'm
So,
sure you got hit
no.
by one. You know what it feels like.
I know what it feels like to be hit by one because I have experienced that.
That was a
I
lot
have
more
not
vile than most fireballs.
Experienced casting one.
What
I
I'm
know what I've experienced and what I've spent my entire life devoted to.
Calm
I
down,
think
Raw.
you just know you're
There's a
fucking
concept.
shitty spells,
complicated
okay?
notion.
Why don't you keep your nose in the book and shut up?
There's a complicated notion called
Yeah.
numerology.
There's always
no.
It is
complicated
already-
notions.
It has already presented itself. Arvos, I want you to argue with literally everything that is said
I'm
here.
very curious as to what he's got to say.
So Raw, an analogy. See, it may be too complicated for an orc. to
too complicated for my women
You see-
brain. Oh my god, I'm not as smart as you. Heaven
didn't-
forbid. Shut
I
up.
didn't invoke
Shut
your
up.
gender. I
Shut
invoked
up.
your race.
Shut up.
But anyways.
Oh. I'm about
Actually,
to shove
you're very
this ring
smart.
in your face.
I'm just
And
saying
I
I've
think
never
you
seen
know
an
what
orc
that-
wizard. But
See,
I'm
you
about
learned a
to
lot
shove
more
this
than
ring
just
in your
magic from
face.
Araclis.
They're sure that a numeric quantity that defines our intelligence is equal, Erebos.
Look, Erebos, the next time
yes, you were a
I know a
different
book about
kind.
that.
the next time
Aldronicus. I
a
get
god
to figure you
actually
out, but-
decides to speak with you, we can have this conversation again. But until
Oh.
then, you
Maybe none
have
of them found him worthy.
nowhere to talk about this.
How do you even know there was a
Probably.
god speaking to you? You can't know such a thing. What's the point of thinking something that you can't even know for sure?
Have
Okay,
you ever
let's-
cast a cure
let's-
spell?
Let's look at this.
Have you ever
What-
cast a curing spell? I mean, you know what it
No.
feels like, right? But you
Yes,
don't know what it feels like
exactly.
to cast it, right?
Yeah, I could figure it out if I needed to. I
Once
can
you,
tell when
once you
Sphinx
do
is-
that, let me know.
Yeah, whenever Sphinx is casting a heal spell, I can identify that with my eyes closed.
I
can
would
just
actually
identify
be
with
genuinely
the
impressed.
vocal components,
That-
probably.
I would
That
100%
doesn't
be
tell
genuinely
you how
impressed
it
with that.
feels to cast it. That just says you have the knowledge. I know what she's casting. It doesn't tell you how it feels to cast it.
As you state that, Ra,
I'll give you 100 gold if you can do
you
that.
could make him feel what it's like to cast it.
Okay, what the fuck was that?
What was what?
You heard a soft voice of the mistress in your ear.
Oh god, the mistress is fucking talking to me. I don't want to make people do shit. I don't want to.
I
If
turned
he
to the
wants
rest.
to
See,
experience it. Let him
I turned to the-
experience it.
I turned to the rest. See, she's already dumbfounded by my words. She can't even comprehend them. She's dazing off into
Already burning
nothingness.
him. No.
You know what, Aravos? You're making me consider the goddamn mistress because you're a little piece of shit, and I want to teach you a lesson.
There's no need for name calling.
You can feel like a spell, a
Says
concept
the
of like a spell manifesting in you, one that would allow you to share an experience with him.
Oh, this is fucking trippy as shit.
Hey, Arvos, though. I'll give
Fuck
you
it. I'm gonna. What do I have to
give you
do? I'm doing
100
Okay.
gold if you can replicate
So-
a curing spell.
You, so you can cast this spell,
100 gold.
but in casting this spell, you are invoking the name of the mistress.
Would I know what
means-
that means?
It means that to some degree, you are acknowledging and empowering the mistress to be your patron deity for a time. You're being offered a chance at spells provided to you by a different hand. Not by the hand of the belief of others, but by the hand of a new goddess.
More present goddess.
I think I'd be drunk enough that I'd just be like, okay.
Okay, what
Yes,
experience
like-
do you want to share?
I'm like, here, Aravos, this is how I know I'm talking to gods and goddesses. And God, what would be a good one that he would never experience?
Said he never cast a healing spell.
Yeah.
It'd be unlike him to do
But
something that would benefit
I'm
somebody.
I'm trying to decide. I don't think I want to share that with him. I want to share an experience of like how I have personally like felt and like how everything feels when I'm actively like kind of having a conversation with my goddess.
Okay. So you have access to a spell now known as Share Minor Experience. This is a first level spell. I will get you details for it later.
Okay.
It is you may choose a recipient may choose to save against this, but it is harmless, and they can also choose to fail. If they do so, they have the experience as if they were you. The experience must have like a diminished level of emotional reactivity. So like having a traditional experience of like exchanging something with a god or goddess isn't like a very high emotion, really dramatically affecting kind of thing, but it is just eye-opening enough to make somebody have a feeling. You also will gain at 3rd level Share Moderate Experience. It basically allows you to share more intense emotional experiences, and it starts to kind of go up from there. Every 2 levels, you gain another instance of these, and it allows you to share an increasingly intense experience that you've had. So if Arvos, it is a touch spell.
So I'll like,
Don't
as I'm
touch
going
me,
up,
filthy.
I'll go up to Arvos. I'm like, I'll prove it to you, but don't resist, or I can't show you.
What is this you're casting?
So with that 19, you are not sure what this is. This is unfamiliar magic to Arvos entirely, so that makes it much more difficult to identify.
I would prefer you not touch me with spells I do not know what they do.
Do you want me to prove this to you, or else I'm just gonna label you as a chicken who is afraid to know what it really feels like to speak to a god or goddess?
I'm making block noises and flapping my arms now.
Ah!
I was hoping somebody would do it.
Yes. You may all call it chicken, but I don't know what kind of magics you have.
Fuck
And I
it, I'll
can't
do
even
it.
identify it.
Do you think I'm truly gonna hurt you, Aravos?
Maybe not intentionally. I don't know what this magic does. It could do something
do it.
irreversible to me.
Don't you want to learn more? You're all about learning about magics. Don't you want to
Yes,
learn?
last time you guys asked me to learn more, I was blinded almost permanently. Who knows?
A little harm and knowledge should be right up your alley.
Interesting.
Maybe you do it on someone else first, and then.
But how does that? Okay, fine. Who wants to experience this?
Actually, Boria will raise up his hand, and in that moment, like Natalia will try to like pull his arm down, and then he'll kind of look over. What? I've never gotten a chance. And she says, "I'm not sure that would be a good thing, but this is the opportunity. If she can actually do this, is this for real? Is this for real?"
I believe it's for real. I'm just sharing my experience with you. I don't believe it'll give you any magical powers after it. You just get to experience.
What was
something
that sense motive for, Ryan? I think
I'm
I
assuming
know.
that kind of confirms what I was suspecting about her earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. Now the idea that like he might know what it means to have any connection to magic at all is kind of like frightening.
She's afraid
to
of
her.
losing him.
Yeah.
I'll kind of like I'll
I'll-
look back and forth between them. I'm like,
I'll raise my hand up in front of his.
If it discomforts her this much, then I suppose her worry must be
I'll
founded.
turn to Cassius and offer like my hand like out to just like touch his and wait for him to like bring it out and accept.
Let me read that real quick. Oh, wrong character. Yeah, I'll put my hand out.
You experience being in a place of solitude, being surrounded by nothing but the air around you. There's a bit of a like soft feeling of being alone. You can't really look about. You're having their experience, so you are as they are as it's happening. whispering the words of affirmation and understanding, and asking for guidance, for hope, for guidance, for understanding, and for courage, and feeling like hands upon your shoulder, very soft, comforting hands, and something whispering to you without words, things that make things make sense. And then your eyes shift back and you're back at the table with everyone.
It was just like a feeling of hands, but there weren't hands.
Mm-hmm.
I was odd, to say the least. Interesting, but odd.
Can I see if anything's like happened to him in any state or any perceivable way?
Nope, he looks fine.
Okay. Cassius, that was 100 gold for that bet you offered me for a healing magic spell?
Yeah, I'd like to see you do it.
All right. Give me a moment with Sphinx and I'll learn the spell and then I'll do it. If you have the 100 gold.
Let me see if I have it on me. I don't know if I have 100 gold.
Big talk for no money, eh, Cassius? Come on now.
Well, at the moment I don't have 100, but...
Oh, okay. Well, then it'll be an IOU. Sphinx, you have a moment?
So, Mr. Chicken, you gonna still back out of this?
Yes,
Sounds
yes.
like his
We'll do it
way.
after my winning of 100 gold.
Your healing
Moment
spell?
for what?
I just need you to show me some quick things about the spell and so I can win 100 gold.
Mm-hmm.
I'll like usher Sphinx off to a corner if I can.
Okay.
Is Pierre here as well?
No, Pierre is not here.
Was he extended an invitation? Because I would have if I
Pierre
saw him.
is not going to be able to be tracked down right now.
Okay, fair enough.
Pierre has his own side quest.
That's fine. I just figured it would be good to...
I don't even want to think about what the implications of that are.
I figured it would be a good thing as a team building thing to invite him, but if he can't be found, he don't want to be found.
Yep, he'll be missing for about 6 days.
That's nice and
Big
convenient.
Talk, Aravos, your big talk. Let me share how it really feels to speak
Yeah,
to
you
a
got
goddess.
I'm in a corner with Sphinx right now. Are you?
No, you're not. Sphinx
No,
never
you've
agreed
got
to
time.
anything.
You've got time to do this. Maybe you'll
I-
earn the spell then.
That is a
There you
very
go.
interesting spell.
If I do this, Sphinx, you're gonna help me. You're gonna show me some pointers about the healing spell right after this.
I can do what I can.
All right. I have your word, Ra. This is no permanent, lasting effects from this. We do have an
Sure.
agreement. If you don't remember.
We do have an agreement. I know the terms of our agreement.
All right, I'll let her touch me.
That's
Okay.
interesting.
And what experience are you sharing?
Getting hit
So
by
it-
the vile fireball.
Nope, she can't share that experience.
I'm sure that's too strong of an experience.
Yeah, you have to use a
Um,
level 3 spell for that.
Well, yeah, because each time you're doing each level of experience also comes with either negative or positive consequences, and dependent upon what you're sharing with them, it can change like where they're at. Like it has a physiological effect, and the higher up you go, the more substantial it can become.
So with Aravos, I'm specifically again sharing an experience of like communing with my goddess, but I want to share one that leans heavily on like how it feels to be worshiping a good aligned goddess.
Okay.
Ugh.
All right. So you are
Gross,
shared.
icky.
You are shared the memory of like helping people. A memory of prayer after your goddess has helped you save many of your kind from the vicious environment. It is a prayer of thanksgiving and joy and communion. You can feel what it's like to appreciate the good things that you've done to help people, and the way this will help the rest of the world by proxy. Help one, help them all. Understanding, courage, and focus lead to a better freedom of life and learning. And you feel the embrace of a pair of arms that do not exist around you. And you feel yourself pulled against the bosom of a force that is not there. And then you return to seeing everyone around the table.
Was the force like holding me or whatever? Is that similar to anything I would have experienced before, or no?
You would
Like a
never
major
have
armor
experienced
feel-
anything like this before.
Okay. Quite the odd experience. I can definitely say I've never experienced it before, but doesn't prove what you're saying, that it's from a specific god. It could have been from any god, or it could have been another effect that neither of us have experienced.
We weren't debating whether it was from the god I thought it was or not. You were debating whether the gods exist and talk to me at all.
No, you misunderstood.
That's what you said. That's what you said.
I said maybe Thoth was playing a trick on you, and you were thinking you were hearing Trisha.
And then after that, you said, but how do you even know the gods exist at all?
No, I know gods exist. I don't think I said that.
Sure.
Gods existing is not a question. You'd be a fool to deny the existence of gods. I've seen it firsthand.
Do you really think Thoth would give you that much comfort for doing that good?
The nature of the gods are a mystery. I think the gods could do whatever they want.
Okay,
If
you can
Thoth
be
wished it,
naive
he
to
could
what
do-
you felt. That's fine, Arvos. You can be naive. It's okay.
I
Okay,
appreciate
sweetie.
I appreciate you sharing your experience. But Spinks, do we have a moment to speak alone?
Sure.
I don't know what you were going for there. If you're going to do those, they need to be...
on what he said.
I don't know. Type out what you mean in a whisper, because I don't know or say it, because I don't know what you're going for here.
I was just trying to figure out if he was being sincere about that.
How does Aravos feel about the gods?
I think obviously knows they exist. Like, that's not a question in the world, right? Like,
You
gods
bashed
clearly exist.
Delandrian and basically...
No, I never bashed
No,
him.
but you're...
Yes,
I
you
believe...
did.
I believe Aravos' opinion is that while they're powerful, they are still like not necessarily controllable, but like their effect is limited to just those who follow, and maybe those who follow can have an impact. Like,
He made a comment in the cart when we were donating to Landrian that was like harsh enough that you gave him negatives against any undead we came across.
Yeah, I said like, we don't need to. I made like a snarky comment. I didn't say like
Yeah.
he's useless. I didn't say
Yeah,
like,
but a
didn't, like,
snarky comment
blasphemy.
towards the gods implies like, yeah, maybe I believe they exist, but I don't really think they're that important.
I
Just-
think Arvos would like not be foolish. Like, he wouldn't be like, oh, the gods. Like, gods clearly like can like do shit, but I don't think he, like, oh, like that shit. Like, we can't even like worry about. What's the point of trying to like understand it when they could literally do
Right.
whatever? I'm focused on arcane magic. I can understand that.
got
I
it.
understand.
That makes sense. All right. So I don't know what you're expecting to learn from Spinks here. I don't know where this is going, and I don't know if
Quickly, I
Spinks
wanna
is
be-
even going to participate.
Well, she said she'd talk to me at least. So
I
there's
pull
things-
Sean out and like turn around and just go, okay, so Sean, can we actually do this?
No, but if you want to earn, oh wait, sorry,
I
thought you
can't
were asking
actually
me.
help him do this.
No, of course not.
Okay, can you help me just pretend like I know we can do this?
Why would we waste our time on this?
So that we make him think that we, are actually helping him.
You do what you want to do. I'm
Sphinx. I don't know if you're
back to
talking
this,
to
and he goes
spirits or-
back to like reading something. I know.
Sphinx.
Oh, that one I got.
Listen, I know you can't teach me any magic, but how do you want to earn some gold or what?
earn some gold?
Yeah, we'll just play a little prank on Cassius. I'll stand in front of him, pretending to cast a spell, and you cast the healing spell from behind him. And it'll look like I did it. And I'll give you half the gold. It's just a little prank. Nothing offensive. Just a little prank on our buddy Cassius.
I think he would feel a second hand.
Oh,
I'll distract him well enough. He won't notice.
Why do I
I'll be
seem
touching him.
growing up?
I'll be doing the whole touching and distracting him thing in the front, and you just quickly give him a pat
Phrasing?
on the back.
I no longer want to be a part of this.
Really consensual touching.
Just because it's consensual doesn't make it appropriate in public.
6 feet, man. 6 feet.
Spinks, are you on
A
board?
bubble
Is this
gum for you.
a little prank? 50 gold for you for it.
I don't know about those.
Why? It's
He
just a little
seems
prank.
pretty observant. I don't think this will work.
What's the worst
And I don't
case?
wanna
He
be
sees you and
involved
it's
with it.
everyone has a good laugh.
I mean, I think it would just be easier for me to slip like my hair through your sleeve and do it that way.
Slip your hair through my what?
Well, since I can cast it with my hair, I can slip like the hair through.
Have you done this
and
before?
then like when you go to touch them, my like hair is also touching like with your hand. So
That's pretty impressive. If you think that's better, do that.
Sorry, man.
They-
I just got really hairy wrists.
Don't you think I'd recognize your
Yes.
voice? Don't you think I'd recognize your voice?
I don't know who this voice is coming from. Where
This voice is coming from the guy who is overhearing you.
Oh, so he's over here.
Yes.
Oh, well.
26, by the way, to listen to a whispered conversation at a distance is pretty good.
Cassius, have you no manners eavesdropping?
Have you no manners trying to swindle people out of money? I mean, I
You
guess
don't
it
even have
holds
the
up-
gold. I wasn't going to
I
take
guess it
it.
holds up to about pretty much everything else we know about your character.
Wow. It was just a little prank. You clearly heard that, didn't you? I wasn't going to actually take the money from you.
Hey, Mel, did you happen to bring Pegasus for him for dinner? Or is there some other innocent animal that you just want to slaughter?
I didn't slaughter anything. I merely... Oh, my lord, you people.
Your intent was there.
It's coming from people who... I don't know how...
This coming
drunk I
from-
am.
This coming from people who
I was
have
going to
just...
say murdering High Inquisitors, but I don't know where we are or the public around us.
No, you're not in public.
This is coming from people who have just about
If
as
I'm-
many people after him as you do.
If I'm slightly intoxicated, I'm pretty annoyed with Cassius, so I think I would say that. If I think there's no
Yeah.
one around to like get in trouble by it. So like this coming from a man who so easily murdered a high official in the city, which I'm not even sure if I want to report this or not. My family's in high standing in this city, and I felt forced to engage in such combat. I don't
You know
yet.
what? I'm sure that your family would like for you to stay here a lot longer, wouldn't they?
What do you know of my family?
I know more than enough. I know that you got about as many demons here as I do.
That's an odd thing to say. My family's well esteemed in this town. What are you talking about?
I've heard of them.
Sorry to interrupt. It was quite weird when I saw your last name on the arrest warrant. I didn't realize who you were this whole time, Arvos. What
You don't
else
got
do you keep
anybody.
from us?
You don't got anybody trying to kill you too, do you?
I don't know what Heracles was thinking pairing me with a bunch of you. People, necromancers after you all, and
I
murderers.
thought it would make it easier for you to spy on us. He said as much, right?
It's not spying. I'm merely relaying information.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's not technically spying if he tells us he's doing it, right?
Yeah. You're a human, right, Cassius? I expect you understand these complex things.
You're right. I'm also a male. Does that mean I'd understand it better than Ra would?
No. Men and women are quite equal.
Huh. That's interesting.
spells do I have again?
Alright. On that, who's sharing the next thing?
Sphinx probably needs to share soon
Got a little
because
crazy.
we're probably going past 10
Yeah.
with
Sphinx?
all of us gone. Yeah.
What do you got?
I got a boiling blood for Aravos, if that's what he wants.
What the fuck?
Excuse me, I am also not human, and I do not appreciate you making deals with me and then saying I'm less than everyone else.
Listen, I'm a racist drunk elf. All right, leave me alone.
I like Spink's drunk,
No.
feisty side.
I'm not leaving you alone.
Oh my god.
All right, Sphinx, what are you revealing?
I'll back down a little bit because I don't know what the hell she's about to do.
Unleash the full force of the spirits on him.
She's cute when she's feisty.
Anyway,
You need a
we've got
second.
more important conversation. That reminds me of my, actually, of my spirits. A special one that's sort of with me. I have one that I may have unintentionally caused to stick with me from a long time ago.
Oh, excuse me.
Which is, I want to say it's not my fault. I don't have any better answers.
I mean, I don't know exactly what you're saying, but I've been there.
I can see
I'll say it
that
a bit
he
simpler.
has.
Ghost may have been my fault. Stuck with me for a very long time.
Mind me asking what happened?
A family member of mine, a really bad argument.
Ah,
And suddenly
like
you
a
learned your
drunk-
hands can make fire.
kind of like a drunk dad beating your mom, right?
More like an uncle, but sure.
Ah. I think I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Definitely didn't like what I could do in the first place.
Hey, neither did he.
So I unintentionally ended up taking care of the problem, which only created a new problem. Since he's just stuck with me.
See, that's where you and I differ. Thought I was doing the right thing. Part of me still believes it. Most of me still believes it. You know what the fuck he's doing. I'm going to take a very heavy drink after I say that.
Mm-hmm.
Got some memories to repress real quick.
Language, Cassius. There are ladies present.
Ah, that's mighty sexist of you, but I appreciate that.
I don't appreciate your curse words either.
After they both talk about that, and I can see that they're like clearly both super like having uncomfortable like feelings of like remembering things. I'll like just like offer my hands like to both of them.
If I see that, I'll take her hand. You're right. How dare I treat women the same way I do men?
I look to Zeke. These guys complain about me trying to kill a Pegasus, and they've killed people like it's nothing.
Anyways, I'll wait to see if Spink
How about
takes
you?
my hand
Oh,
too,
oh, you
and
were
if they
offering
both-
to Spink?
Yeah.
Oh, then I'll take it.
Yeah, I take
So
your
if,
hand as
they
well.
both like offer my hand, I'll just try to like do the share thing again and share just like a really
So
like-
this is one of the examples I'm talking about. You can't
Okay.
share something that kind of emulates another spell without having the next level up. Because what you're doing is kind of
on emotions type
yes,
thing.
but actually a little
Gotcha.
more intense than that, because you could theoretically share a feeling of goodness and make them feel kind of
Fair.
better inside.
So instead of doing that, then I'll just like I don't know, like do a silent prayer to like the mistress to just like help these people like feel better about what they're going through
Give
type
me a
thing.
knowledge religion as you make that prayer.
Oh, that's a bad
Yeah.
roll.
It's a nice prayer, but you're still like new to kind of sharing words with the mistress, and it feels kind of awkward, and you're kind of like tripping over them a bit.
Makes sense since I'm drunk.
Yeah.
You're right, Arvos. Probably had never had anything you needed to protect in your life, right?
It's not about that. I find ways to not end life. You see, elves live a lot longer than you, and we know the value of life. And it's not taken so lightly.
The way I see it,
you just let other people do it for you.
yeah, the way I see it, somebody's life was ending that night, and I just made sure it was the right person's.
Well, I can't speak to what situation you're talking about, but I try to use words rather than violence right away.
Would you like me to speak a little slower, or I could use easier words to understand if it make it easier for you to comprehend? Would you like to send that back to Heracles? I mean, he probably already knows, right?
I don't know what you're getting at, Cassius. I understood all your words. I just clearly you're being very vague with your situation.
Oh, about me killing my father?
That's a lot more direct and strange that you just bring that up now.
I got no shame in it. Part of the reason I'm in the military.
I didn't say there's something to be ashamed about.
Your dad ever done anything you disagreed with?
Of course. Why do you think I don't reside in the residence in Chrysaisen and I'm studying under Heracles?
Well, I don't know your dad well, but can't imagine he's much less evil than Heracles.
No. He doesn't deserve death, if that's what you're implying.
I'm not saying he should. I'm just saying, given the right circumstances, suppose anybody could.
Are you threatening my father?
No, not at all. I'm just saying, if you saw him doing something where somebody else's life is in danger, what would you do?
Depends whose life was in danger.
Let's say got a mom or a sister, somebody. There's got to be somebody in your life you care about, right?
What's the point of this hypothetical? You want me to choose between lives?
I'm trying to understand if you have any kind of sympathy.
Of course I do. What do you think, I'm a monster?
Do you want me to answer that honestly?
Yes.
Yes.
Why? Why did you think I'm a monster? Because I tried to kill a horse with wings?
Because you've tried to steal things off of bodies while other people were arguing?
What evidence do you have of that?
What reason else would you have had to cast Unseen Servant?
To
It
search
seemed like an appropriate time.
To search the body? You think I want to touch things with my hands? But a necromancer could have cursed several things.
Didn't seem to have much of a problem back at the campsite.
See, your problem with humans is they do a lot of assuming. Maybe you should ask questions without accusations before you assume the worst.
I tried, and you gave me questions back.
Those are
You
some
seem a little dodgy. You seem like you're trying to avoid something. I asked you something, and you asked me a question in return.
What question do you want answered?
I was asking you questions earlier, and you decided to avoid them.
What question? I'll answer it right now.
I don't remember specifically.
Just like the 100 gold you bet that you don't have. You have memories of things that never happened. You humans.
Just like the healing spells you don't have. It's a lot like the 100 gold I don't have.
I never said I had a healing spell. You like to invent a lot of things that you hear, Cassius. Are you sure
I never said I had 100 gold either. I never said I had 100 gold. I just bet 100 gold.
Wait. Are you dissing Sashat over here?
Oh my lord. Oh my. All I'm saying is...
We might throw down over that, okay? Do not talk about Sashat. She is a wonderful freaking goddess. She's doing her best, okay?
You still worshipping her? She's so great?
You can't worship someone who's not a goddess anymore, unfortunately.
I think you've given up on your goddess too easily. I think if I had a belief in a god, I would have maintained my belief a lot longer than that.
I still believe in her, but not... You don't know what I've felt and what I've seen, and you can't worship someone in the way that you worship gods and goddesses.
Thoth sounds like a better god anyway.
Oh my
What kind of god would you be? share knowledge
I'm gonna
willingly.
punch you in your face, okay?
God sounds like a much better god.
Why don't you go shove some food in your mouth and stop talking?
No. Let's hear what he's got to say, because you're just giving him an opportunity to keep his mouth shut.
Who are you casting
what
that
you got
on?
I really
you got
wish
in that
you
What do
would
you
keep your
think?
mouth shut.
I imagine Arvis
I don't
is
know
getting
if you
like
don't tell me the
cards.
target, because you
We
could
know
go.
it's
That could
in-
go either way.
We know what's in Zeke's book.
I mean,
Okay.
his blood's already boiling anyway, so might as well make it literal.
Okay, that spell has no effect here.
Oh.
How do PvP rules work?
Party pew pew over drinks and dinner. I assume Arvos is like I don't know how how alcohol affects elves. Probably the same. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, alcohol is actually somewhat more effective on elves.
Oh, sorry, easier to get drunk.
Yes.
Okay,
They
so
have,
I guess,
they have negative con, right?
I mean, they at one point were. I don't remember if they still are off the top of my head, but
so I just assume maybe Arvos is
They
like
are,
trying
yeah.
to keep pace
Okay,
with
thank you.
everyone else, so he's probably more drunk than everyone else, so he's getting a little more rambunctious in his assertions. Anyways, I've been doing some research on gods and some
Don't let
godly
everybody say
person
can't
over
win
here.
now.
Thoth sounds a lot better. Keeping knowledge secret and keeping
What have
yourselves.
you done research on the gods? When?
I'm just saying in general.
When?
Thoth's principles just sound great.
Yeah,
like
because you're a
Zeke-
little bitch.
Excuse me.
Ooh.
Watch your tone. It's not
about
very
to throw
orc-like.
down.
Actually, it's just orc-like. You're acting this very stereotypical orc right now. Keep your.
Wow.
Anyway,
Racist
Zeke, you should
ass.
have considered some Thoth. No, you could have kept yourself.
Don't
secret.
make me lock you in a circle. I will do it. I swear to God, I will do it.
Ha! If you could. Your magic does not compare to mine. Don't. Your jokes aren't funny.
Yeah,
Zeke,
his
you,
keeper's
consider
got a lot of
Thoth-
things left to learn from
All
this.
right, I'm attempting to lock him in a circle.
I mean,
Well,
as you do that, he can like reflexively move out of where the circle
yeah.
would go.
I will
Because
do
it takes you around to do this. And
Okay. Oh, yeah. You think your magic is so better than mine that you move out of where the circle is going to be?
all right.
Really?
Come on now. I've had enough of this. You're in my home, and you're talking poorly of my kind. I understand that the way you are. You're one of yourself. About yourself. And I can respect what you are and who you are. But by all means, you don't need to keep this up. Keep calm. Relax. Stop your bickering. There are other guests here who have not even had a chance to say much.
I'll offer my apologies to him for acting a certain way in his home.
But it was pretty funny.
Yeah,
right?
Ra, apologize for casting circles in this man's home.
I could have my wife cast you out if need be.
I didn't cast spells in here. Is this one getting aggressive?
I asked you to calm down. Please do so.
I'm very calm.
Good. All right. So more of the evening can progress. And does Zeke speak next, or does Mel speak next?
So what was Cassie's secret? Just that he killed his parents? Is that what?
I'll like kind of mention a few of the other less than lawful things that I've done in my past, like because I would have been on the run at that point, done what I needed to do to survive, but that's why I'm
Wait,
kind
what?
of in the military to kind of get that
Any
You didn't-
specifics he
you didn't
mentions?
Yeah, you didn't explain at all, like, why? Just that you did it?
I mean, I hadn't really like thought in that much detail about it, but I'd be willing to share whatever information. I ain't got nothing to hide, so
Yeah, I would also.
I mean,
be
I'm
curious.
interested in why, yeah.
Yeah.
If you'd like, I can fill in these details for you.
I would
'Cause I had a
greatly
bit of an
appreciate
idea
that.
about this. So
'Cause
Cassius's father was connected to a very complicated syndicate. There's a crime family that exists in Kriseisen. This crime family is notorious for keeping their members unknown. No one really knows who they are, but many people fear who they are. No one dares give them a name, and they allow no one to know their name. And if they learn that anyone knows their name, it is said that they will kill anyone who knows their name. And Cassius's father was very well known in the Syndicate as being one of the higher level thugs, one of the henchmen within the organization. When Cassius killed his father, without any understanding or comprehension of what had happened, he just kind of fled. It was misunderstood what occurred. They were also very upset that one of theirs had been lost so frivolously. And they started trying to hunt down Cassius. In the process of hunting down Cassius ended up having to keep himself alive and had to kill more and more of them. Eventually this left him kind of in that situation where, like, you have to either leave town, because now not only are you a murderer to the Syndicate, but you are also, like, having to kill people in a way that you can't even defend yourself.
Plus, I'm assuming I probably would have had to have found ways to, like, sleep before I left town and died, right?
Yep, exactly. That was the hardest part. Like, the hardest part is you're running around like, oh god, I need to find a place that I can be secure for long enough to make sure, like, I can make it out of town and be okay.
Arvos doesn't want to write this down, but I'm somewhat drunk. Can I make a roll to try and commit this to memory? So
Sure,
I can
give
know
me an
what I
intel
can
check.
have for later. And you can let me know what I know or not.
Mm-hmm. Oof. Yeah, you'll remember it.
Okay. What do I know about this crime family? I'm assuming what you were saying was Cassius telling throughout the night. Or
your family supplies a lot of stuff to this crime family in exchange for a lot of stuff. Okay. Your family is very well connected to them, because if they weren't, your family wouldn't be here. It's kind of the rules for being here. Like, you have to work with them, or you are basically against them. And while your family is very powerful wizards, the Syndicate is allegedly as powerful, if not greater.
So I think when he gets to, like, the part where he says, like, oh, my dad was, like, part of the Syndicate and blah, 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 and I killed him, blah, blah, I think I'll, like, kind of, like, almost spit out my drink and be like, what? You willingly came back to this city knowing what you've done? We could all be in grave danger right now if they know where you are.
Did I ask you the same?
I didn't betray. What do we call them? The Syndicate, or what's, like, the?
You don't call them anything.
So how do I speak about it? Like, do I just say the group?
Them.
Okay.
I didn't. Shall not be named.
Those who shall not be named. I wasn't fool enough to cross them before I left. I only distanced myself from my own family, which I guess is the same thing you did. But if your family was them, I don't know what I would do. I wouldn't even come back here if I had done what you did. I'll immediately, like, scan the room. Are we, like, is there any people in the shadows or anything, like, coming around to, like, kill us all?
Nothing.
Some things are bigger than
no
us.
Perception needed.
Do you all understand what he says? We are all in grave danger by being in this city, by what he has done, and to whom. Do you all understand this? Every second we stay here, we are all at high risk. This group does not take kindly to deserters. In fact, I don't. I'm making this up, but I'm assuming no one has survived. No, there's no tales of someone surviving and whatever. So I'm just gonna make. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You can make up whatever. The Syndicate is the boogeyman. So you are free to like.
It's got a lot of different shapes and sizes, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Cassius, there's no tales of anyone even surviving, leaving this group. You may be the first, and maybe the last. If we should all leave first thing. I don't know.
Depends on how I decide to,
What do you mean depends on what you decide? All of our lives are in danger if we are with you. They could
Even
kill
yours?
all of us just to get to you. Of course mine is at risk. That's why I'm most worried about this.
If I'm such a danger, then why would you even follow with me? Sure,
Good
you'd be
point.
safer off here, right?
I am assigned to your group to help you and counsel you in these matters as well. And my counsel is to get out of this city immediately knowing what you've done.
Forgive me if I don't believe what you said.
I look to the rest of them. Are you all okay with putting your lives at risk? This group is not to be crossed.
We put our lives at risk for the fucking necromancer after Zeke. Like,
This is worse than the necromancer.
worse than having your body taken over.
Yes. This
You
is
seem to know an
literally-
awful lot.
Well, yes, I grew up here.
Me too.
My family has been here for a long time, and as such, we would know of this group as much as one can. And if any of you have been in Krzyzin for any amount of time, you know my warning is not to be taken lightly. In fact, if you all are adamant on staying here for some purpose longer than after learning this, I must return to Heracles. I did not sign up to walk to my death. This is most certainly
Going back to Heracles might just end up being that if you decide to do it alone. That's not a threat, by the way. Just letting you know.
I don't presume to throw my life away lightly. The longer we stay here, the greater chances we are of succumbing to. This group would murder any one of us without a blink of an eye to get Cassius' whereabouts. You don't understand what risk we're in.
I think if they're that powerful, they wouldn't have had already found me.
Good point. They may be keeping you around for something, but this is something I haven't considered really, but
You're real dense. What'd you do?
I've had far too much to drink. But it doesn't change the fact that either they do know where you are and there's something they're planning with it, or either way, staying here is a dangerous endeavor.
It doesn't change the fact that you're in more trouble than I am.
I'm in more trouble than you? How?
Share with the class.
I am on good terms with my family. I'm not sure what you're getting at. I'm literally studying there.
Ah, drats. Yeah, you might be on good terms with your family, I guess. I don't know too much about them.
Yep, he's in good terms.
I am literally using their resources to learn more about our problem. If this was not the case, they would not allow me to do such things.
I mean, he's not lying, Ra, technically, but I mean, Aravos has never seemingly been on good terms with anybody, even Heracles. Like, even his interactions with Heracles are not necessarily on good terms. Everything is a business arrangement with Aravos. So
Well, I think that's good terms for Aravos. Like,
Sure.
that's good for it.
Sure, but they all know that, like, good terms doesn't necessarily mean, like, you're friends with them or that, like, there is actually
Sure.
any level of positivity between the two of you. You could be on good terms with somebody, and they could hate you and wish you dead.
He seems to be on pretty good terms with Ra. Be hard not to notice that, given all the recent experiences we've had.
Okay, well, the rest of you are oddly silent. Are you all drunk to your minds? Can you offer some input on this, this information?
That's a big fat no from me, bud.
I know much of myself, but I think I realized with this necromancer and everything that there's a lot I do not know about you. I would risk my lives for most of you. Most of you have risked your lives for me and the others in this party. I simply wish to know what it is that drives you all. And to that, Erebos, I still do not understand why you have joined us, but you are useful, so you can stay.
Especially to
But
Ra.
the purpose, I do not understand why.
The purpose is quite clear. I'm here to help your group, and in exchange I am to return information to Heracles about our ongoings. It's quite clear cut. But this is besides the point. Do you not comprehend the words that I am speaking? I'm not speaking Elvish, am I? I'm quite intoxicated.
Anybody
You
else here
understand
familiar with the concept of, what's that word? Deflection?
Yes. Aldronicus, stop deflecting. We are talking about a serious
I hate
issue.
you so much.
There's a serious group here that is not to be crossed. And Cassius has just told us.
Is that the Salamanders? Oh, sorry. Wrong group.
Cassius, you're not funny. Anyways, it's not time to be joking.
Thought I was.
This group, I don't know if I've described it enough to you all. They literally probably know where we are right now and for some reason have not done anything yet. And that is even scarier than them doing something.
This probably isn't something we're gonna figure out while we're all drunk.
This is true, but it doesn't. We should still discuss it because
Okay, well, let's discuss it tomorrow when we're sober.
we might be dead tomorrow.
Well, then it doesn't matter anyways.
It matters to me.
Drink to that.
I have much to accomplish in this life still. I don't know about you guys, if you just want to throw your lives away with, like...
Maybe if you had a little bit more faith in the gods, you wouldn't be so afraid that you're gonna die tonight in your sleep.
All your talk of gods, I'm really thinking of looking
You know what?
up.
You know what?
He seems like my
I
type of
don't.
god.
I'm not ready to throw my life away, and that's the exact point I'm trying to make. You're sitting there holding shit from us, and you expect us to trust us?
What am I holding from you,
with your
Cassius?
life? You trust our lives with you?
I didn't ask you to
are
trust
the
me, by way.
shadiest man I've met before today.
Cassius,
Really?
the man keeps privately, but he's not holding anything. Why would you suspect such a thing?
He ain't
Thank you,
spoken.
Mildred.
He ain't spoken a sincere word since we met him.
How do you know that? I know your instincts are better than mine, but
Does everybody else trust this man? If your life
no,
if it was-
his motivations are clearly very selfish.
he gonna get us
Kill a
killed.
horse, he would kill a Pegasus.
He
No
won't
pure
kill
man would
himself.
ever
God.
kill a Pegasus.
You guys with this winged horse can't let it go.
He
He
won't.
nicks a few gold here and there. Like I saw
I
you
have
try
not
and
stolen a single gold from
I
anyone.
saw you try and nick the gold.
I
from
saw
the
you
man.
and I was
It is
halfway
fine.
across
It
the
is not a
camp.
big deal. I've dealt with many petty thieves in my life, but nonetheless, this brings me back to all this. You talk of like why we should be afraid, but there have been many a times that we were supposed to be afraid. Like for going way back to what brought this party together in general, we had to dismiss some unknown threats. We waged a war. We survived barely. Not all of us. We lost along the way, but nonetheless, we're here. We were threatened by a very powerful mage. We nonetheless got here. It is that the trust we have in each other and our resolve that keeps us going. And if we do not have that, we cannot survive. And what you say is as scary as it is, then it is of the utmost importance that we are completely and utterly transparent with each other.
I'm pretty drunk at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Maldronicus, if I may be so bold, your strategy from going through facing terrible threats seems like you lost your other spellcaster, needing me to come in here. You came in here and killed a high official, which now we may all be sentenced to death if we get caught for. It does not seem like your strategy of just going with the flow is working out.
That's right. He didn't kill him because he wasn't the one to cast a spell on him. Isn't that right? Isn't that how that works?
What are you getting at, Cassius?
You didn't cast a spell on him, so you're not liable for his death, right?
I am probably as liable for his death as all of you.
So why you keep saying you and him when you keep talking about killing this high official?
Well, because it was not really my choice to do so. I tried to talk my way out of it, but you all jumped the gun and went to murder. But
I
it's
don't
what's done
remember
is
it
done.
happening that way.
I tried to let him live. It was
You
Zeke's
did.
rage that I could not stop, unfortunately, without hurting Zeke more than I already might have.
That is true.
I thought he had you under his control, trying to defend his own body.
There's perhaps something I should share then to explain the way that I am the way that I am. I'm not a coward, as you probably all think. I'm not just some whatever, can't hurt a fucking fly. It is because
I never once thought that up until recently. No offense.
I came to the military on the pretense of a better life. I've made, for a long time, for a very long time, I was nothing but a slave. At one point, I was finally a partner. I had a stake in something, and even that was taken away from me in the night by racists. And so when you speak of my kind as if we are nothing, Erebos, it drives deep into me, because we are capable of more than you can possibly know. I've seen Spinks do great things at her own risk to just better this world. I'd like to think I do the same. And for you to just put us down like that, it is just not correct, and it is not fair. I think that at the end of this day, what we do and our intents are more important than the means that we get to them. And so you think that, okay, yes, Zeke murdered that man, but nonetheless, he tried to murder us first. And he has tried to murder us many times. Leaving him alive was perhaps incorrect. And if I had had my way, he might have kept trying to murder us. I don't know. But that is just me. Sometimes it is necessary to be deliberate in this world. And if you think that there's someone here that is threatening us, then perhaps we need to be deliberate as well. Perhaps waiting around is just exactly what they hope that we do. But I do not know of these people. I know nothing of them. But all I know is that only if we cooperate do we have any chance if they're as scary as you say that they are.
I have no problems with what you say, but why does this not change? What do we have left to accomplish here besides further research and things that we can learn somewhere else? There's no reason to stay here longer. We should.
I think in my head I wanted to pretend just for a moment that my life wasn't different, that I could go back to the way things were when I just worked the forge, that I was just a simple man with nothing to worry about, no voices in my head, no whatever the purple fucking shit that's destroying our world is. I want to go back to a simple time. But perhaps you're right. Perhaps it's inevitable. Perhaps we can't accept that anymore. And if that is the case, then perhaps we do need to go. But to where? Do we just run to the next place? Do we just run the entire time, or do we confront this?
Yeah, Arvos, where would you be safe at?
We do need people to make RA4 great again.
Keep your tone, or mind your words, Meltronicus. There are ears everywhere. Do not threaten the group so openly. We would not win.
Make
such an
RA4
encounter.
great again.
It would be nice to stay here, but I was not in a hurry to leave. But you have to understand what Cassius says. And this whole matter with the High Inquisitor, I wish to resolve that further, but this takes precedence. We must not meddle with this group further than whatever Cassius has done. Cassius, what do you plan to stay here for? Are you trying to meddle with them further? What are your goals here?
I ain't got no goals with them at the moment. All I know is that you don't get to be as powerful as you are without seeing some things. There ain't much like you. I'll give you credit where credit's due. You got a lot of power, a lot of knowledge. I just don't know what your intents are with it.
Flattery will get you nowhere.
Oh, trust me. It sickens me a little bit to even say that. I'll give you all the respect in the world for the knowledge you have and for the abilities that you have and the once or twice that you probably saved our lives, maybe. But
don't be so down on yourself, Cassius. I've seen you shoot that thing. What do you call it? A blasty stick or whatever. It's pretty impressive. I don't think I can do it.
Shoot him with the blasty stick.
Stick him with the
Boomstick.
blasty end.
But
Give him
that
a little bit
don't
of the
mean
nasty
you're
blasting.
honest. Ugh. That don't mean you're honest. And you're gonna get us killed if you keep hiding this shit from us.
What
And
do
I
you
ain't
think I'm
dying
hiding?
again.
I've told you I've told you exactly what Heracles sent me here for. What more do you want? I've been completely honest, actually.
You told us why he sent you here.
Yes. He told you himself as well. What more do you need?
You don't get to be this level of power without making some connections, for better or worse.
Do you know?
And I don't trust
how-
that you are as pure as you're trying to make yourself out to be.
I never
So if you got
claimed
somebody
to.
that's coming after us, or if you have something that's coming after you, I don't see why I should stop them.
Whoa. Jeez.
You're not giving me a reason to help you. I'll be honest with you.
I haven't crossed the group here that you have. I don't have anyone coming after me. My family, if they wanted, probably could have sent assassins after me, but I didn't leave stealing their whole family secrets. I didn't leave on the best terms, but we still have mutual respect for one another. It's not to kill one another. I don't know what kind of arrangements you have with. Well, clearly your family is not on the similar terms, but you know what I mean. I'm not. There's no one to my knowledge after me. I don't know what you're getting at.
Am I the only one here who doesn't believe that, or?
Cassius, you keep bringing this up. Is there something that you're not telling me?
He has done one suspicious thing after another since we've met him. And this has nothing to do with Heracles sending him to gather information on us. That we were well aware of. Heracles is evil. Very, very evil.
Yes.
But he lets us know that he's evil, and he tells us what he's doing. I don't like or fully trust what he's saying, but I trust what Heracles is saying far more than him. And I am not going to let him get us killed. Not gonna let him get me killed. I've been there. I've
Cassius,
done that.
are you mad? You're saying I'm gonna get us killed after you just. Is no one listening?
Can I get somebody other than Cassius to make a sense motive against somebody other than Aravos?
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna actually
somebody
sense
just
motive on Cassius. at
Thank
this
you.
point.
I was waiting
Because
for this
it's
because
driving
Cassius
me-
has been.
It's driving me insane with how many times he's brought up that he
Yeah,
has this-
he's attempting to innuendo here. Is what is
Yeah.
happening.
He's brought it
So-
up a million times on Arvos, and like, there's no logical
Mal,
reason.
you're
His
certain he's
points are in
hiding.
intelligence, not wisdom.
Mal, at this point, you're certain that he is trying to say something that he might not be able to say directly. Ra, you are getting the impression that, like, putting this together, the conversation came up around this they, and all of a sudden, he's, like, very aggressive towards Aravos and the potential for a secret. You're getting the impression that maybe something about this group and Aravos are in some way directly linked to each other, and Cassius probably can't say some things about it.
Gotcha. So, said Arvios. Arvos.
That's almost as bad as AA Ravos.
She's just LARPing, that's all. She's just slurring her words like Arvos does his races.
No, I'll turn to Arvos and be like, I think Cassius is implying that you have some sort of connection with this group that you're not letting on.
There's no
No, it's more that Cassius knows about some kind of connection, and Cassius can't let on.
So I'll say, I think Cassius is trying to imply that he knows you're connected to them somehow, and he can't say the specifics for some reason.
I work under Heracles. Do you think
Is-
Heracles is connected to this group? That's not the case. I don't
mean-
report to this group. I don't know what you're getting at.
You come from a prominent family. Could they have connections? to
My family is not me.
I get that they're not you, but they're still connected to you. Does their family want something from you that they're not getting?
My business with my family does not put anyone here in danger and is none of your business.
But are you 100% positive?
I trust Rakata's instincts. That's why she was brought on. She is a scout. She's good at these things. If her instincts tell her something, you should trust in them, Erebos.
So, Cassius...
that is what we do.
Cassius, you don't think he even knows.
You don't even know, do you?
Know what?
Yes, that's what we're here to find out, isn't it?
Cassius, you're so cryptic. Can you just speak plainly? Is this some sort of human secret language I haven't learned yet? You know how many languages I know? And I still don't understand half the things you say.
Look,
you don't know
pretty good
why...
at connecting shit. So here, let me lay down some shit, okay? These people should have theoretically killed us already by what you say, Arvos, right? You think they should have killed us already or found us or whatever.
Necessarily, but
you think they should have found us already.
They definitely know where we are for sure.
Okay. And if they haven't...
It hits you that if they did find you, they would have probably actually already engaged with you and let you know that they'd found you.
Yeah. So if they obviously know where they are, where us are, they must
where us are. You listen, drunkie.
Engage.
Yeah, that's good.
Engage with us or one of us. And Cassius seems to be having some information over here that he can't quite clearly spill out. So I'm going to guess they already contacted him, and they probably already contacted
If I was drinking
him.
something, I immediately spit it out.
Okay.
Something
Cassius,
to
is this
do
true?
with you, since he
don't
thinks
know what...
you're going to get us killed. So maybe you should go home and talk to your family and figure out why Cassius...
Ooh, Cassius, you know he definitely shouldn't do that.
Okay.
I don't know
not,
much more
but...
than he does about what's going on, it appears, but maybe speaking to his family ain't for the best.
What do you mean? I have business there tomorrow. I must continue my studying.
It's
fine if he talks to them, just not about whether or not his family is, like, looking for something.
Just a study?
Yes, the reason we've come here is to learn about that purple nonsense.
Shit. Shit.
What are you on about?
Well, when you're there, don't go asking too many questions.
About what?
Anything that you think you shouldn't know.
Sphinx.
That's a real good way to end up dead.
I kind of like
Not by my
drunkenly
hand.
pretend to meander next to Sphinx. I'm like, do you have dispel magic prepared today?
Did I prepare it?
No, you would have. A lot of your spells have been going towards the weapon, so you likely would not have spent any like time with dispel magic.
I don't have it today.
You wouldn't have it prepared though, still. Does your weapon crafting doesn't affect what you have prepared, right?
But spell points in it. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're saying she's just out of spell points.
Yes, she would have spent all of her time like working on the weapon because she's like devoting the time to getting it done faster than usual.
Yeah, I don't got the ability to use it right now. If that's what you're asking. Sorry.
Erebos, do you have dispel magic prepared today?
Of course.
Cast it on that man, and I point right at Cassius.
Whoa. I may
That's
be
an order.
drunk.
That's
I may
an
be
order.
drunk, but I don't cast spells without a reason. What are you getting at?
If you want to know the truth, then cast that damn spell.
You think he's not talking because he can't?
Yes.
I'm
I've
pretty
known
sure he's
Cassius
not
for quite some
talking-
time. Cassius speaks his mind whenever he can. If he's not telling us something, it's because he can't.
When did You said detect magic, right?
Dispel magic.
When did dispel magic become harmful? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Oh my god, dispel magic is a harmful spell. You realized it. Like, it can break magical items, and if it can break magical items, it could cause them to explode.
I squint my eye.
You botched. That is the answer you're getting.
Boom.
Do it, Arvos!
Wait. I should probably, I'll hand the Wayfinder and my bandolier
I
over
take
to,
your Wayfinder
to
and your
Sphinx,
thing.
or if you take, yeah. I don't want anything to explode if he's casting dispel magic on me.
That's all right, fine. You know
What is this? What is it you hold in your hand right now? It's so angry.
We all hear this?
I guess Mal hearing
Mal hears this.
Oh. Well, I didn't know, like... the
Shut
other
up!
chick
I've
said
heard
that
voices
the
in my head
one-
way too often.
It's
to hear
so
shit.
angry.
Shut up!
Let me give
Let
these
it
to
fill
Sphinx.
you.
Let me give these to Sphinx real quick.
Yeah,
I've dealt with more voices in your head than your stupid compass voice.
Gorgeous Blake.
I may be drunk, but I don't cast spells.
Erebos! I
Cassius,
swear
do I
to
have your
God,
permission?
cast the fucking spell.
I don't want him to shoot me if I
I'll
cast
double check
He
to make sure I
doesn't
don't have
have his
anything.
gun.
Yeah, you've
I don't
taken
have
off all
anything-
the magic.
Okay, good. I don't have anything else magical on that I know of, so it shouldn't cause anything to
God
explode.
damn it!
Alright. You
I'll
cast
dispel
Dispel
your
magic, and it dispels all the magic from Cassius. Cassius, you don't have any more magic.
Oof, I feel
I
the
just want
same.
to see. Do you feel any different or not?
I feel exactly the same, right?
Yes.
Then why is it that you can't tell us whatever it is that you're hiding from us,
Because
Cassius?
obviously
I value my
someone's
life.
secret, and they'll kill him.
Value
if he
your
talks
life.
freely.
Oh Lord! You're
Cassius.
talking. You're telling you can't trust me. Well, how can we trust you? He's clearly been in contact with the group, and now he can't even share what they want. He's doing something with them. Unbelievable.
I'll tell you right now, the sure shit don't want me.
They want me?
They want Arvo.
Your guess is as good as mine.
This is not good. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't
that's
know.
exactly what I'm saying.
I have done nothing to offend them. I don't understand. What did they tell you? You must
Once
be able to
I
say something.
for once I believe you, and I'm not entirely sure why. This must be very good alcohol, and that's the scariest part of it all.
Alright. With that, there's one more person that needs to reveal something, and then we'll wrap up. So what does Zeke reveal?
All right. On a lighter note. Yeah. So when I was a child, I was very indecisive. So this man, he told me about the 8, how I could use tools to help me make decisions. I chose a dice.
Rolling
And
dice to
I-
determine outcomes sounds like nonsense.
Yep. I did this a lot. It helped me a lot through my childhood. I don't do it anymore. But sometimes it's comforting. I still will picture that dice in my head on occasion when making a decision.
Hey, Arvos, next time Heracles gives you a spell, you should roll a dice to see which one you get.
That's preposterous. I could end up with something useless, like
Yeah, that's the point. But you could
protection
also end
from
up
evil or
with
something.
Ooh, and then somebody could use their power to manipulate that die roll. Alright. That is where I think we're going to wrap up for tonight.
Oh, if by the end of the night, if Arvos hasn't shared anything, I'm going to make it very apparent.
I
that he
mean,
hasn't.
if you guys are listening, I pretty much inadvertently revealed stuff, which I think is in character because maybe I was drunk and I accidentally revealed stuff. So
Yeah. I mean, we found out a
Yeah.
lot from
Yeah.
I haven't and just I formally state something just because it's it was kind of vague, but I would I would also I guess formally close by saying that basically we've all made mistakes. It sounds like all of us. We've all come from weird backgrounds, and it is those things that have made us the unit that we are. That we're so misfit that we actually function. And we need to continue to bond on that, or we will probably die if the enemies we have made are as strong as that Arvos seems to claim. Like, this group to Mal is literally the closest thing to a family he's ever had, because he doesn't really remember his parents or anyone else very well. So, like, I would die for anyone in this party. Like, and he would lay that down very adamantly, and then just leave it at that.
Well spoken. To Meldronicus's unit. And I raise my glass. Drunkenly.
To the unit.
All right.
Cheers.
And that is where we'll wrap up for the night. Good night, everyone.